All right, Craig, thanks very much. 2 New York congressional seats are going to be up for grabs this year. Bill Owens announced yesterday that he's retiring, and Nassau County Representative Carolyn McCarthy made a similar announcement last week. So could Republicans pick up these 2 previously Democratic-held seats? Republicans always seem to have a tough time when it comes to congressional seats in New York. But joining us now to talk more about it, our political analyst, New York Post state editor Fred Dicker. And Fred, at least one of these, we know Bill Owens, that seat was probably Republican for a long time.
No question about it, Liz. And the Republicans are salivating now. They haven't been doing well in New York. This is a heavily Democratic state. We have 27 congressional seats. Only 6 of them are Republican. But there's a good chance this North Country seat, the Bill Owens seat, will go Republican. That may be why Bill Owens announced, and surprised a lot of people, announced that he wouldn't be running for re-election. And down in Nassau County, which has been traditionally a Republican stronghold, although it's a little bit more Democratic now, Carolyn McCarthy, a longtime congresswoman from down there, announced she's not going to run again, and the Republicans think they have a very good shot there. With Obamacare being a major issue this year and the president's popularity way down or considerably down, these certainly could be 2 seats that Republicans would gain later this year.
And that's interesting, too, because it was Obama who supposedly helped Bill Owens to win that seat.
No question, although he's not exactly embracing Obama these days. He's made a number of comments very critical or seemingly critical of Obamacare and saying the president needs to do more. I would note, though, that Long Island and Nassau County, where Carolyn McCarthy is from, has long been thought of as a Republican stronghold. Al D'Amato came from down there, and just today, the New York Post was reporting a few hours ago that Al D'Amato endorsed Governor Cuomo for re-election, Democrat Cuomo, even though D'Amato is a longtime Republican senator. And this must have something to do with that letter Ed Cox was sent out, the Republican chairman, asking Republicans not to support the governor. So that could help the Democratic candidate down on Long Island.
Yeah, how about that, Fred? The Republican Party head puts out a letter saying don't do this, and Al D'Amato, whom everybody associates so closely with the party, turns around and does it?
Well, I think that's probably why he put the letter out, that he knew D'Amato was going to do it. D'Amato is a longtime lobbyist who has many interests in front of Governor Cuomo's administration. The first reaction to people I spoke to was just to roll their eyes and say, we expected it. Al D'Amato these days is described, to use a term that's used widely at the Capitol, as very transactional, that he's all about the business that he heads. I think it's Park Strategies that it's called, and that's what he is now. He's a businessman, a lobbyist, and he needs access, and lobbyists like to be with a winner, and certainly right now Governor Cuomo is seen as a likely winner this year.
And how is the Republican Party? I mean, you've made many comments about this in the past, that if this were a time when there might be a couple of congressional seats up for grabs that they could get, how is the party going to help here?
Well, you know, they need, and this is what this battle over Donald Trump and Rob Astorino is about in part, is that Republicans need a strong top of the ticket in a gubernatorial election year. The general thinking is people don't turn out for a mere congressional race, but they turn out in larger numbers for a gubernatorial race. But if they don't have a reason to go out and say vote against Andrew Cuomo or vote for whoever the Republican candidate is, that will hurt lower level lines on the ballot, congressional lines, for instance. So the Republican Party needs to come up with a strong candidate to win these seats. I think it's going to be much easier in the North Country, though, which still remains pretty heavily Republican, than it will be down on Long Island, which really is in play now.
All right, we'll see where this all goes, and I know you'll be talking about it along the way. Fred, thank you. And
I will be.
As always, he'll be talking about it on the radio as well. He's live from the state capitol every weekday morning on the radio. From 10 to 11, it's Talk 1300 AM.
All right, time now to see how things